Hey guys, it's the anime overanalyst here coming at you with another Promised Neverland review. This is going to be part 2 of 3 um, in the Goldy Pond arc. Basically, I was originally going to make this arc split into 2 parts, but after rereading it, I've decided to make it into 3 separate parts. And this part is going to focus mainly on the smaller battles surrounding Goldy Pond. So without any further ado, I'm just going to jump right into it. So the first thing that needs to be mentioned is that the demons are attacking Goldy Pond again. You know, the music plays, and that means demons are coming. They're coming a little bit earlier than they were supposed to, but everyone's prepared regardless. So everybody splits into 5 teams. We've got Emma and Oliver versus Lewis, Archduke Lewis. We've got Nigel and Gillian versus Luce or Luce or Luce. It's spelled Luce in my translation. We've got Zach and Pepe versus Lord Bayon. He's the one that owns the land. He owns Goldie Pond. And then we've got Sandy and Sonia versus Nos and Numa. And they have Violet and Paula as backups. So that's basically 10 humans versus 5 demons, plus or minus the demon retainers, which are usually taken out instantly. So yeah, it's this is a 10 on 5 battle with each demon being paired up with 2 humans. And so everybody splits off as the battle begins, and Gillian and Nigel pretty much take down Luce immediately. It takes them about 6.5 minutes, and they're trying to defeat all the 5. Actually, they're trying to defeat 4 of the 5 demons within 15 minutes. Basically, Emma is stalling Archduke Lewis, and I'm gonna go more into that in the next part, but basically she's stalling Archduke Lewis while everybody else takes while all the other children take out the other 4 demons. So yeah, like I said, Gillian and Nigel take out Luce almost right off the bat. They take about 6.5 minutes to do it. Um, so that while they're doing that, uh, we've got Zach and Pepe against Lord Bayon, and immediately what they did was they decided to split up because they kind of noticed that Lord Bayon was being a little too casual. So they changed the plans and yeah, split up. Uh, at the same time, Sandy and Sonia are taking out Snoose and Numa, and they let them into a trap, and by doing so, Paula was able to snipe Numa. So right off the bat, we've got 2 of the demons down. We've got Numa and Luce, and uh, Nos, who is like the twin, is like a twin brother of Numa. He goes into a fury rage and eats Numa, and then goes completely psycho. He actually manages to take out Sonia, Paula, and Sandy, leaving Violet the only one remaining. So while all that's going down, Gillian and Nigel basically separate. Or no, they don't separate. After they defeat Luce, they go and they run into Lord Bayon, and instantly they're like, "Oh no, Pepe and Zach have been defeated somehow. We've got to warn Oliver." And so initially they were going to split up with Nigel being a distraction and Gilia running back to warn Oliver. But then Gillian decides to blow her whistle in a way that's not in the plan and basically diverting Bayon's attention to follow her. And eventually he catches up to her, slices her in the back, and threatens to kill her if Nigel doesn't lead him to Lucas. But right before they could do that, Pepe shows up, throws a smoke bomb, and the three of them start retreating towards Lucas, who is actually underground with Oliver. Oliver did stay back. He was initially going to be with Emma, but he stayed back, and so Oliver and Lucas managed to ambush Lord Bayon as Pepe led him into the hole. And so, with that being said, Lord Bayon gets killed in the ambush, while Oliver gets kind of pierced in the side. So that literally just leaves Noose, who is currently going insane. And so, like I said, Noose defeated Sonia, Paula, and Sandy, and he's literally holding one of them up by the neck and is like constantly kicking him, trying to draw out Violet. When actually suddenly Ray and Mister show up, and they assess the situation. And while Ray is trying to talk with Violet, Mister literally walks up and snipes Nose, killing him instantly. So that means that all four of them have been finally defeated, and that leaves at the end of chapter 86 just Emma versus Archduke Louis, or Louvis. I keep calling him Louis because that's what his name is in my translation. Anyways, so I'm gonna talk kind of about my feelings for this chapter. I'm trying to keep this video under 20 minutes because my last several have been way too long. So that's why I'm kind of talking fast and just kind of rambling. And I'm seeing how well this will do. So the first thing that I really want to talk about is Gillian. Gillian is my favorite character in this part, of the arc. I'm giving her the MVP award. Gillian is amazing. I like how they made her character. How do I explain it? She's just a straight up badass. Literally, there's almost a chapter dedicated to her just straight up shooting loose. Like, there's a full page spread that I'm constantly looking at where she's just raining bullets down on Loose, and it's really amazing. And I like her ability to think quickly. I like how she was able to come up with the idea to divert Lord Bayon's attention by blowing the whistle in a certain way. You know, that's really heroic. And when she actually gets sliced down, I almost thought she was going to die. Thankfully, she starts getting patched up towards the end once they get her to safety. So she is my favorite character in this arc. However, what I also really want to talk about is how most of these side characters are highlighted in this part. The first time I read through this, I didn't really care too much about them, besides Gillian, of course. She may be one of my favorite side characters in the whole series. Kind of, except for the fact that she doesn't get much screen time after this arc, which is unfortunate. Anyway, so I really like what they did with Nigel. They kind of gave Nigel some personality. They gave him like this kind of, there's almost a dichotomy between him and Gillian, and how they interact with each other I just completely love. And looking at Nigel, he doesn't look like much. He's just kind of the geeky mechanic kid, but he's also super brave and he's the one that's kind of putting himself in danger, and he's probably going to be the MVP of the next arc because he literally goes and joins Emma. Um, Next, I want to talk about is Oliver, who, like I said earlier, I didn't really care much about his character to begin with, but rereading it, I'm starting to grow more in love with it. Um, at first, it does. He's just kind of the leader. Like he's not really shown much of a spotlight, but as I'm reading this, it's I'm really impressed with the way that he demands respect out of everyone. Um, the only other person that is pretty much equally respected is, well, other two people is Lucas, because he's kind of like the father of the group, and then Emma, because she's Emma. And so I really like how, you know, how he strategizes. Like this whole plan was pretty much his idea and how he did it, went about it. But he also just kind of like the way he's able to run the camp while throughout this time, I should say. So that's why I kind of like his character. Um, and then one other character that I really want to point out is Zach. They kind of flesh out his character in a bit. Kind of he's described as the one that's always throwing himself into danger, and because of that, that's why he decided to go up against Lord Bayon. He came up and he literally said the reason why I'm choosing this most dangerous task is because I'm one of the few people who will probably come out alive. And I'm really liking the fact that he's throwing he's throwing logic kind of into his insanity, um, with with like how sturdy he is, and I guess overall how everybody respects him for being so aggressive in his tactics, I should say. And so I really like the group. I really like how the dynamic of the group is really fitting together. I think that might actually be my favorite part. My favorite thing about this part is just seeing how connected everybody is in this group. You know, um, it's kind of like how Emma and Ray are connected with their group. These 9 members are a family all into themselves, and so I really I really enjoy how these guys. I really enjoy watching these guys click together and how they are trying to support each other and how even the groups that they made up make sense with each other. So that's probably the thing that I love the most about this chapter. I think the last thing that I'm going to talk about is another really cool concept is the demons having emotions. Um, I it's it makes them humanized, which is kind of scary, but there's actually a reason why they're humanized, but that's not explained till later on. Um, yeah, that's not explained till way later on why they act human. Anyways, I really love their emotions. I love how Nos gets extremely angered when Noma gets killed because, in a way, I almost can sympathize with him because he literally just kind of lost his twin sister. That being said, you got this dichotomy where the demons don't even treat humans like they have emotions, and so when that happens, we've got I believe it's like Sandy looking up and being like, "How dare they feel emotions? You know, they're the ones that's killing all of our family members. Why is it all right for them to feel emotions?" But in a way, I mean that everybody has a right, I think, and I think that's really cool. Where you're kind of just sitting there and being like, do they actually have a right to feel emotions? And so Uh, Another example is Lord Bayon. The entire reason he's doing this is because he yearns for the hunt. You know, he gets excited. Same thing with Archduke Louis. In fact, excuse me, Archduke Louis is even more into the hunting aspect. You know, he wants to be hunted and he wants to hunt and be hunted at the same time. So he's crazy in that aspect. I'm not gonna go into much further because I'm probably gonna talk nonstop about that next part. And uh, the more I'm reading about this, the more I kind of want to make separate videos on like different aspects that I like about Goldy Pond. However, I'm just kind of spewing my random thoughts out now, so that they're out and everybody pretty much knows that I've read up to this point. So that's all that I have for this part. I know this video is short, but I'm really trying to make my videos about 20 minutes or less, just so that, they can be watched. I guess I don't think people want to watch a 40-minute long review of just me rambling on. So that's all for now. The next video will hopefully be out within a couple days. So until then, I will see you guys later. Peace.